Yo, motherfucker, we're gonna spoil Gravity Falls Season 2. If you haven't watched it, go fucking watch it. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen the show, stick around. We're gonna talk about it and shit. Okay, so let's sit through the first couple episodes of Season 2, and then we can record.
Let's watch the whole thing!
Sounds great!
Hello everybody and welcome to Cinema Roulette. Today is going to be a doozy.
Yeah, we were supposed to do episodes 1 through 5 of Season 2, but then we wanted to watch more and more, and now we finished the entire season talking about.
Yeah, it's just that good. It is that good of a show, like, ugh.
Like, okay, no, wait, I think I cut it up through 7s, just so that way we'd be able to watch the 2-parter.
Yeah.
And I felt mean making you wait that long.
I know, because the thing that sucks is, like, you have that terrible cliffhanger from Season 1, and it's not, like, resolved until the middle of Season 2.
Yeah, it's not answered till episode 11, which, by the release dates of the episodes, Season 2, Episode 1 was released August 1st, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
The episode where your question is answered about the portal is March 9th, 2015.
Again, I am sorry.
Nope, yep, that's right. Never mind.
I am so sorry to people who had to watch this live. I am so sorry.
And the thing is, we'll get to the episode soon, but you didn't get the cliffhanger of the March 9th episode till July 13th.
Yeah, because that was Not What He Seems, right?
Not What He Seems was in March, and then
Yeah.
A Tale of Two Stands was July.
Fucking hell.
I feel... Because they released the episodes as soon as they were done.
Yeah, at the point they were like, you know what, we're not going to adhere to a schedule. They're taking too long, so we're just going to release them once they're done.
Yeah.
Which is basically the mindset we've taken for Cinema Roulette.
Whoops. Well, not even sometimes once they're done. When did we record Duke?
When did we record what?
The Babadook?
Well, I think that was like shortly after I got home from fucking Midwest this year.
No, that was Suspiria.
Oh, yeah. When did we record Babadook? That'd been there for a while, actually, come to think of it, hadn't it?
Yeah, 'cause
Shit.
I think we were trying to plan this episode for a while.
Oh my god. Yeah, and again, the reason we put this off is just because we didn't want to do it because we know it's going to be a long episode.
And watch, it's only going to be 30 minutes.
Yeah, right? Like, it's going to be like the Blade Runner episode where it's just like an hour. It's like, oh, well.
Oh, no, wait, yeah, because this is probably 2019 now. Yay!
We're going to make them wait for to hear our thoughts in the finale. Oh, man, we're terrible people.
Well, if they watch we're doing what the actual show did.
Yeah. There's too many parallels to Gravity Falls in this show, damn it.
There is one thing that is in parallel. One of them's good.
Oh.
Self-burn.
Self-burn hurts so bad.
Hurts so bad. Like my nips.
If your nipples are hurting, I think there's something wrong with them.
Excuse me. Don't question my nipple.
Help,
That's the quote take out of context.
Don't question my nipples, just in 2018.
No, it's 2019. Wink.
Shit.
Wink.
Oh, shit.
Wink. Okay, anyway, on with Gravity Falls. So we're going to be doing something a bit different this episode.
Uh-huh.
As going through episode by episode would take far too long and be kind of pointless.
Because there's, what, 20 episodes?
There's 24, I'm pretty sure. Nope,
No,
20.
it's 20. I remember it's an even 40 for the whole series.
And maybe half of them actually have the story of the show. The rest are kind of one-offs.
Mm-hmm. Which some of them are still good, but... Well,
and what we're going to do is explain the story of Season 2, talk about those episodes specifically, and then we'll go back and talk about any of the one-offs and anything else we want to talk about the show.
Okay. Do we want to talk about Weird Mageddon last, or we'll just group that in with the story?
No, we'll group that in with story because Weird Mageddon is fun to talk about.
Oh yeah. All right. So
that
again,
is just one I remember most vividly.
Yeah, it's so good. So Justin did all the research, so I'll let him take it away with the synopsis.
Because Cameron's a lazy fuck. Okay, after that,
You're saying? Go on.
no, okay. Should I say the number of the episodes just to give an idea of how these jump around?
Yes, I would say that's a good idea.
Okay. So, episode 2, yeah, you don't even get a fucking answer in episode 1 of any fucking kind, which is,
it hurts.
Yeah, that hurts. That's where I felt really mean to you, because I was like, oh, doesn't the not what he seems happen pretty early on? Nope, middle of the season.
Literally, like, almost middle episode of the season.
So fucking cruel.
It
Anyway.
is, because it's so goddamn good. Like, it's worth the... It's like Ruby, where it's worth the wait, but at the same time, it's terrible.
Well, Ruby, you wait a fucking week.
Yeah.
Not almost a year.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway. Episode 2. The gang finds a secret bunker. That's about it. Like, story-wise, they find a secret bunker. They figure out the author is made of the book.
Isn't that the one with, like, that big weird glob monster that can transform, played by Mark Hamill?
Yes. There is also a glob monster that can transform into anything. That becomes a lair.
Yeah.
Also, Wendy is like, yo, Dipper, I knew you had a crush on me, but I'm in high school.
Yeah.
You're going to middle school. No, he's going to high school as well, but only as a freshman. This ain't gonna work.
Yeah. And just so you know, the glob monster was portrayed by Mark Hamill.
Love that man.
Hell yeah.
Even though I hate Star Wars. Moving on.
That's not true.
I hate Star Wars fans. How about that?
Yes, you hate Star Wars fans for good reason. I'm probably gonna end up cutting this out, but just a little thing about Mark Hamill while we're on the topic. Apparently, it was Andrea Romano's birthday, who was the casting and voice director for the original animated series. And Mark Hamill retweeted that, and he said, "I owe Andrea Romano so much more than can be expressed in a single tweet. Casting Luke Skywalker as one of the most iconic villains in pop culture was daring and risky. I will be forever grateful she had faith in me and was instrumental in giving me a second career."
Oh,
so I'm like, oh, that's
such
cool.
A fucking wholesome man.
He is so wholesome, yeah.
Too bad they ruined him in episode 8. Jeez, a lot of cuts in this episode already, and we're barely at the start.
Ah, well, it's fine.
Okay, that was Oh no, wait. Episode 7. We learned there is a Society of the Blind Eye.
Oh yeah, that whole thing with like the erasing memories thing.
Yes, it is a group of people where if anyone sees something strange in the town, they will basically get memory like Men in Black.
Yeah.
And it turns out Old Man McGuffin worked...
McGuckin.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Old Man McGuckin!
Old Man McGuckin!
He actually worked with the original book writer, the author. That is the word I was looking for.
You couldn't remember author. Great job.
He originally worked with the author, and the Society of the Blind Eye has his memories, and they give it back to him. The whole reason he's crazy is because they erased all of his... He's actually a super smart dude. That's why he was able to build the robot back in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But they wiped all his mind, and then they get it back, and we learn a couple of things that are kind of put on the back burner for now.
Yeah. But that's where they
I think also into the bunker, they find the they find the laptop that they need to get into.
Yeah, that's right. They find the laptop, and I remember how it gets destroyed.
I skipped an episode then.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can talk about it now. We're off to a great start.
Sorry. Okay, we watched this all the way back in July.
Yeah,
It's currently December.
Cut us a little bit of slack, guys.
I apologize. Sorry. Going back, Sock Opera, which is episode 4. Dipper is spending every night trying to figure out the code for the laptop because it doesn't have a lockaway feature at first. Because I just remembered a plot point.
It's fine.
Mabel is also working on a sock opera to impress a boy.
Yep, of course. That's a hilarious subplot.
It is, and it gets better when it crosses over. But Dipper's trying to figure out the code. He gets down to, like, one more try, and Bill comes in and he's like, hey, buddy.
Yeah,
I could give you the code, but you have to do something for me.
I love that because it's kind of like a surprise appearance by Bill Cipher. It's like, hi, I'm here still.
I hate... Bill is the most terrifying person in the room, and he's a fucking triangle.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I love it. Like, he's terrifying, but at the same time has this really dark sense of humor that's great.
I'm surprised they got away with half the shit they do with Bill.
Oh, I know. Like, even when he's first introduced, I remember it's like, here's a bunch of deer teeth, and he, like, rips the teeth out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Jesus. Anyway.
Here's a screaming decapitated head. But yeah, because it's like, man, who's good with puzzles and shit? And I'm just like, oh, are they going here? Are they going here?
Yeah. But either way, Dipper is horribly tired and sleep deprived. I think that's redundant, but
yeah,
whatever.
It's fine.
And Bill comes in and Dipper says, okay. But then Bill's deal is to switch body. Dipper becomes a spirit and Bill takes over Dipper's body, and no one seems to notice.
Because that's just how everyone is in that town. They're not...
Everyone is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But luckily, Dipper is able to possess a sock of himself, which is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, it is. Isn't there like a time where Mabel's holding him, he's just going, or something like that?
Oh, the googly eyes are what make it amazing.
Yeah, I think even Mabel comments, she's like, sorry, I can't take you seriously.
If you could find the clip, please just show it for half a second of him being angry as a sock.
Yes, it's kind of adorable and silly.
I'm sorry. It looks funny when you're mad. Okay.
It makes me so... Because that's what they do. They take something that is kind of horrifying, like losing your body, but they add enough silliness to not scare away children.
Yeah.
Fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog.
All right, yeah. I don't know. With Weird Mageddon, they didn't give a fuck about that. They just wanted to scare children with that one.
Oh, that's true. We'll get to that in very short amount of time.
But, I forget how they defeat Bill.
In that one? Yeah, I forget too. Can you look up the episode real quick?
I could. Intermission! Oh, yeah, because he's in Dipper's body, she tickles him.
Oh, and is that what, like, gets him out of
it? And then, making him aware of the fact that Dipper hasn't slept in 24 hours and is therefore exhausted.
He's starting to get physically exhausted, that's right.
And due to being aware of his mortality, he starts getting annoyed with everything.
I forgot about that, that's right. Well, we should probably explain that now.
Oh, well, I mean, unless we want to be really lazy and just cut when I just said that.
Sure, well, that's fine. Fuck it. I've already made enough cuts as is, damn it.
And how far are we in already?
Let me check. We are only 20 minutes in.
Yep, that's good. And probably less than that due to the cut.
Yeah.
And public screen, maybe. Okay. But yes, that is how they defeat Bill, by using Dipper's shitty body against him.
Yeah.
And then episode 7, they give Old Man McGuckin his memories back and give him the computer so he can get into it. Trying to just quickly recall each episode until not what he seems.
Oh boy, that's really the next time we have a story thing, huh?
Yeah, it's a couple because we go from episode 7 to 11.
Okay.
I was gonna make a free slushy joke, but then I felt it was so lame that I kind of felt sad with myself.
At 7-Eleven. God damn it.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
forgot that those were a thing, actually.
I have no response for that.
7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven.
But not what it seems. So Stan has been slowly starting up the portal thing, and it's causing a fuck ton of seismic activity. The government takes him in, and also Mabel and Dipper keep uncovering that Stan is not what he seems. Stan Pines apparently died. They find multiple fake IDs. All this shit.
So yeah, and obviously they're starting to think like, man, who the fuck is our Grunkle Stan?
And I actually want to ask, like, what were you thinking when they started finding all shit?
I didn't know, honestly. Like, I figured it had something to do with the portal and all that. Like, there was a reason he was doing all that, but I was starting to get, like, pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty wary of Stan at that point, because it's like, yeah, he was kind of a piece of shit, but, like, was what he was doing worth it, is what I was thinking.
So, and the episode comes down to a pretty intense climax when there's basically no gravity. Mabel here has the choice to shut down the portal, but Stan says do not shut it down, and keeps saying to trust him, even though this is a man who constantly lies.
Yeah, and that's the most brilliant thing about, like, just thinking about I'm getting emotional, because that was one of the most emotional fucking scenes in the whole show.
Who did you think was right? Was it Stan or Dipper? Because Dipper said shut it down.
I didn't know at that point. I couldn't make a decision.
So you were Mabel. You had no proof.
Yes, I was basically Mabel. I had no proof on it. I mean, you had proof that Stan was doing something bad, but it's like, obviously he had reasons for doing that if he went so far as to open a fucking portal and shit. So, and didn't you tell me, like, the most brilliant thing about that is that, like he's not what he seems because he's telling the truth or something? Like, it's the one time.
Yeah, that's also, they never technically lied to you. They were, he's not what he seems. He seems like a complete lying piece of shit.
Yeah, and it kind of reverses it. Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's not, you think, yeah, it's not what he seems like, he's not what he seems like, oh, he has mystery behind him, but no, it's not like he seems. He's a piece of shit, but
he's doing something non-selfish and trying to help.
Yeah, the one time that's like, he's not what he seems. It's like, oh, fuck!
Did you really think a Disney show was gonna make someone that unlikable that quickly? Fucking idiots.
God, it was so good. Yeah, just Not What He Seems is a fantastic episode where just everything that had been building up to at that point just comes to a head. And it's amazing. It's so amazing. It's one of my favorite episodes in the whole series.
Yeah.
I do like, again, just the dark humor. I'm surprised they got away with. It's like, when he was dressed up in the suit, he said, is that really Grunkle Stan? He can't really tell. And then he drops on his toe. He's like, ah, son of a boop. Yeah, that's him. And they just shut it off before he says bitch.
Wasn't this also the episode where it shows that they were laundering money?
Yes.
as a summer activity?
No, I'm just thinking of the one episode from season 1 where it's like he can't, where Stan can't lie.
Oh yeah. But at the end of that episode, Mabel decides to to trust Stan and not push the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see some random man come through. His name's Ford. Well, Stan Ford.
Get it. And we find that out, I think, in the... Is that said at the end of the episode, or is that said where the Tale of Two stands?
I forget, actually.
Because I think it just ends with that really cool fucking shot of him out of the portal and, like, the embers are behind him and shit.
Yeah, and then the credits is both stands as children looking at the beach.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Like, the animation is so fucking beautiful. Like, and we'll talk about this, I think, later, but the animation, they clearly had a bigger budget. And just during that whole scene, it was just gorgeous. Ugh.
Yeah. So then, a couple months later, people got an answer in A Tale of Two Stands.
Mm-hmm. Where it turns out he was actually impersonating his brother or something, right?
Yes. In this, we find out Stan and his brother Ford are twins. Ford was a strong...
And his brother is played by J.K. Simmons.
Yes. We find out... Sorry. Let's try one last time. We find out that the names are Stan Ford and Stan Lee, but we'll go with Stan and Ford for simplicity's sake.
Is it Stan Ford and Lee Ford, you said?
No, Stan Ford and Stan Lee.
Is that a joke?
But it's A Tale of Two Stans. They're both.
Okay.
Their names Shorin will be Stan. That's the joke.
Was it Stan Lee, though? Was that actually his name?
No, Stan Lee, one name. Not...
Oh, yeah, Stan Lee. Okay, yeah. I was confused.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second. Yeah, Stan and Stanley. Okay.
Sorry, my Chicago accent added a nice little pause there.
You're there. You're good. You're good.
But we find out Ford was the smart kid. He was able to literally break the universe if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Stan was the muscle, and he was still a scumbag.
Yeah, like Stan was the muscle, and he was even from a young age, he knew about like con artists and stuff. He had more like street smarts, I think, than Stanley.
Yeah. But they were close until Stan got mad that Ford was going to get into a good college, and then fucked up his science fair experiment, which made him stay there. But then both brothers hated each other.
Yeah, it gets kind of real.
Yeah, it gets real fast. Some time passes of Stan going from job and state to state because he's a constant con artist, as his brother does research in Gravity Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, his brother fully invented the portal and invites Stan to help because he's the only person he can trust. But during the experiment, Ford is sucked into the portal, and Stan doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to hide out in the cabin, but eventually needs food, and since they're identical twin brothers, he acts like he is Ford, just calling himself Stan.
Yep.
Which then he's been spending the rest of his time trying to figure out how to start the portal while also running the Mystery Shack, so that way no one gets too suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to be not suspicious by doing the most illegal things possible.
I know, and literally attracting the attention of the FBI.
Well, not till the very end, where he was shaking the entire town.
Yeah. Well, no, because they were investigating in the town before that, like in the beginning of season 1, the FBI agents.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. No, they hinted at that before.
I forgot.
You're good.
I forgot now.
It's fine.
But yeah, that's what happens in A Tale of Two Stan. That's at least the most important stuff we learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the episodes sort of have a tying theme of them trying to stop Bill from causing what they call Weird Mageddon.
Yep.
And this is just kind of the same time. You slowly see fear grow between Dipper and Mabel that they will split up like Stan and Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Which finally kind of comes to a head in episode 17, Dipper and Mabel versus the Future, which is already a dark title now that I say it out loud.
Yeah, honestly.
They find out from Wendy that high school is going to be hell. Dipper becomes Ford's assistant, which means he will not be going back home with Mabel. This kind of emotionally crushes her as a human being. And she runs into the woods where she runs into the time traveler man that we mentioned back in season 1, and he did reappear in season 2, but
Yep.
but it wasn't too plot relevant.
Wasn't he voiced by a Rick and Morty guy?
Yes,
Justin
Justin
Roiland, right?
Roiland, thank you.
Yep, I just remembered it myself.
And he says he can give Mabel something that will make it be summer forever, so Dipper will never have to leave, and they won't have to go to high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trick by Bill.
Yeah, it turns out Bill is posing as the time traveler guy.
Actually, I think they got the monster from episode 2 that we mentioned to do it.
Is that what happened? The shapeshifter? I thought it was Bill himself.
I think he was working with Bill. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
And I'm not pulling up the article again. So,
And
but as soon as that line is crossed, after Mabel, I forget what she gives, but basically gives Bill the key to start Weird Mageddon.
Yep. I think it's the
And
journal.
then the show stopped giving a single shit because they knew it was the final season.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The thing, yeah, and then, like, I think it was one of the journals, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That she gave him?
or it was like a code of some sorts.
Yeah, again, it's been months. It's been almost half a year since we watched this. Forgive us.
Yeah, apologies.
But,
I'm going to look at it now.
okay. But yeah, it was at this point that it led into one of the greatest finales in a show I've seen in my life.
Oh, the blend-in that would have stopped.
The what?
She hands the. They had the rift that was breaking, the broken part of reality.
Oh yeah, that Stanley had, or Stan had.
Ford.
Ford had, yeah, Ford, Stan, yeah.
Make sure you keep. I know it's hard to keep track, and I've
Yes.
been telling myself the difference until we started recording.
Okay.
But it says it hands over to the blend-in here. So yes, it was the blend-in working for Bill.
Okay. Yep.
She hands over the rift, which Bill immediately smashes, allowing him to start Weird Mageddon.
Yep. And then like
Oh god.
Woo! Yeah, this is one of the darkest things that I've ever seen in a kids show.
The intro becomes a fucking nightmare.
It's like, oh yeah, here we're airing this on kids television. Here's a river of blood.
Going upwards, here's music reversed, here's the skeletons of our characters.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, it flashes them as skeletons. It's like, fucking hell.
It goes this is one of the best apocalypses though I've ever seen.
Oh, Lord above. They just go all out with it. Just all out.
For everything that you see that's silly, there's something that is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
It's so great.
And I think it starts out when Bill gives his big speech, and it's like, oh, here, I'm going to replace... He, like, puts his eye where his mouth is, and, like, his mouth where his eyes, he just starts screaming. I'm like, what the fuck?
The water tower becomes a monster. There's a weird man who has an arm sticking out the top of his head. Is the only...
He's, like,
and
pulling
he
himself
people,
along with the arm.
And he eats people.
The
animation goes to 100%.
Oh, they just went all fucking out. They didn't give a fuck. They really didn't.
Bill starts turning people to stone to
put his
make
throne. The throne's
yeah,
made
to
of
make a
people.
tower of people.
Oh,
a throne.
A throne of people. It's so fucked up.
And episode 1, because this is a 3-part event.
Yeah.
It feels so fucking hopeless.
Yeah, it really does. Honestly.
Like every plan they try fails immediately. Mabel is still is trapped in some bubble that we don't know at the time what is happening
Yeah, exactly.
inside.
Because I think they don't even show that in episode 1, but in episode 2, it's revealed that Bill trapped her in her own little bubble and giving her everything she wanted.
I just realized that joke.
What?
She's literally trapped in her own bubble.
You just
her own
realized
little
that?
world. God fucking damn it.
And you've sat through the show twice now.
I didn't. It's more not that I don't get the joke. It's I never said
Okay.
like the Smith in Shadow Warrior 2 is Black Smith.
Or in fucking the show from Futurama, how the guy who played Satan was named Lucy.
Yeah. Disenchantment.
Disenchantment.
People totally underrated that show. Anyway.
But back on topic, yeah, they do really let you feel how goddamn hopeless this is, like in an apocalypse. Which you should. It's a fucking apocalypse.
Also, there's a really cool scene where they're driving through reality warping bubbles as they're running away from Gideon's gang.
Yeah, it goes to different art styles, and it shows the actual actors in like live action.
Yeah, which just fun. It's so creative and funny. God damn it, I can jack off.
Right?
I realize that's a bad joke because most of the characters in this are kids. That's not what I was going for.
It's not because of the kids, I swear, it's the animation.
It's the art style. Just so good.
Creativity gets me hard.
Part 2 is kind of more touching. Like we said, they finally get into the bubble, and Mabel is in the fucking sugar high, the world.
Yeah, because remember that scene in season 1 where she gets on sugar and like she's riding that dolphin thing? This is basically what that is.
Mixed with 12-year-old girl interests, such as boy bands, and more boy bands.
Yeah, I think several times are there, like
yeah, they were her servants.
Copies of them, yeah, like they, like none of it was actually
This
real.
place even gives you stuff you want.
Yeah,
a puppy chinchilla. I didn't know I wanted.
Oh, it's a good line. I forgot about that.
It was some. I forget if it was. I knew it was something chinchilla.
Yeah,
Chinchillas are adorable.
they are. They're little fuzzballs. Softest
Besides the point.
softest animal in the world too, but yep, I digress.
Dipper says, "Yo, we need to get the fuck out," and Mabel's like, "But it's happy here. We even have Bear Dipper."
We have a cooler world with blackjack and hookers.
Seriously. Oh, do you remember Cool Dipper though?
Yes.
Radical '90s Dipper.
Yeah, and like sunglasses. He's like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yo, what's up, nachos?
Oh, god damn it.
But they are going to have a court case, well, basically a trial on which is better, reality or the fantasy world that Mabel is living.
Mm-hmm.
If they choose fantasy world, Dipper will be, I think, killed, I'm pretty sure, or in prison forever.
Yeah, so one of the two. I forget.
Pretty terrible either way.
Yeah.
But before that, Dipper is sitting in Wayne, and all of a sudden Wendy comes up and admits love to him.
Oh, yeah, because that's how he knows it's a trap.
I think that's what triggers the court case, is he realizes everything's fake. And once he does, Wendy turns into realizes it's a fake Wendy, it turns into, like, leeches or cockroaches.
Something fucked up like that. Like, you see the color dissolve from the world and it turns, like, black and white, and then, like, they all of a sudden become these, like, fucked up creatures.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal.
Oh, it was great.
And also, I found that a very nice self-deprecating joke to Dipper. Just like, Wendy would never say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's when he realizes.
But for the court case, it's actually a really touching moment where they show really shady moments from reality, throughout reality of their childhoods, like getting, my brain's breaking. Getting gum stuck in their hair, being bullied, not getting a Valentine's gift.
And wasn't the whole message like reality sucks, but there's also good in it too? Like you can't really have good without that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good message because then it shows everything that happened in shady moments that made them closer together as brother and sister.
Exactly.
Which is a really touching moment before the whole world turns fine.
Come again? You just broke up at the world blank.
But it's all, which is really touching before the world becomes terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a giant Waddles. We haven't talked about Waddles this entire time, but there's a giant Waddles.
There's giant Waddles.
It's great.
It's amazing.
Needless to say, they get out of there, and then it's time to fight Bill.
Time for the
But
final
you'll have to
battle.
wait.
How long was it? Like a couple months, I think?
Episode 2 came out November 23rd, 2015. Episode 3 came out February 15th, 2016.
3 fucking months you had to wait. Gosh.
That show is mean.
It is. God.
I also feel even though we're a good ways into the episode now, the happy thing of waiting is the DVD and Blu-ray of this show are now.
Yes. Oh yeah,
If
because did we talk about that in the last part of season 1, or was it still not out at that time?
I think we might have talked in one of the movie episodes, but I don't think we ever talked about in a Gravity Falls episode.
Okay, yeah. So in the first season episodes, I think at least the first 3 parts were. How many parts were there? 4, I think.
I forget.
Something there were 4.
I
Yeah,
don't
because
watch
there were
our
4.
show.
Just because 5, 10, 15, 20, there were 4 parts in season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, because freaking shit.
Because we cracked a lot of wise that Disney was never going to release it. Now it is released. You can buy it. Do that as soon as you can.
Because Shout Factory came along and rescued the fucking show. This is why I've always fucking loved Shout Factory, because they've like re-released shows on Blu-ray and DVD that probably otherwise would have never ever gotten a release.
Hey, ever think of suggesting them to get into anime?
Right?
Can we have Nana back so I don't have to pay $400 a box set?
I was gonna say, I don't think that's Shout Factory's thing as far as I know, but that would be nice if they put in the effort to do that. Like maybe Nana.
And then please buy
Paranoid
Amnepolix so we can actually have anime for a reasonable price.
and release Paranoid Agent, maybe that would be great.
I don't know who owns Satoshi Kon stuff.
Yeah,
so
I forget who released Paranoid Agent, but yeah, Shout Factory again, can't say enough positive about them, and they also have their subsidiary Scream Factory, which releases a lot of like obscure horror movies that like kind of either fallen out of print or people have forgotten about.
Nice.
Yeah, Shout Factory's is a great company, so
go suck their buy their stuff.
support the shit out of them, buy it from their website or whatnot.
But yeah, we're releasing this in January. We should be, at least. Do go and buy it if you have any leftover Christmas money.
Yeah.
Or Hanukkah money. I don't know
It's
what
well worth it because A, it's an amazing fucking show, and B, you'll be supporting the show. So
you'll support Disney into actually releasing their stuff. So maybe we'll get a Star versus the Forces of Evil DVD.
Has that been out already?
I don't think there was a DVD, but
Really?
they're on like season 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Cartoon Network has just started releasing season sets, because I know they released Steven Universe the first season and all that.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to release more soon.
Yeah, Cartoon Network has thankfully gotten on top of that, but yeah, hopefully this will prompt Disney and specifically to release more of their shit.
But you can buy it digitally, yes, but I like to hold the case.
Yeah, I like to hold the case, and what if it's not available digitally one day?
Yeah, if iTunes goes down or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, after that little tangent, we are not sponsored, by the way. We just
We're not
support
sponsored
the
by
show.
Shout Factory. We just love Shout Factory.
Please sponsor us.
Right.
I will happily be paid. It's just one DVD.
Mm.
Or Blu-ray. I'll be happily paid in that. You don't even have to pay like what you'd normally pay for a shout out.
Just one free DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah. Of my choosing.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not saying you owe me royalties. I'm just saying, maybe there should be a check in the mail the first of every month. Yeah, I guess that's royalties, is what I'm asking for.
Episode 3.
Weirdmageddon Part 3, Take Back the Falls. What a great title.
It's time to fucking kill Bill.
That's a good one. Okay.
I have zero regrets on that joke.
That's a good one. I will give you that. A+.
So, throughout this entire season, and again, we'll talk about this more in a bit, but the animation has been top fucking notch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn the notch to 11. They just go all out.
Because this one was an hour-long finale with the commercials. I think it's like 45, 50 minutes if you watch it. Just without it.
All the cast and crew all the cast that we know besides Ford, build a fucking giant robot out of the house.
Yeah, because Ford is like frozen in this.
Yeah, Ford is still on the chair.
Yeah.
He took a back seat. Tits!
Hey.
Anyway. But they make a fortress out of the fucking mech out of the Mystery Shack because the Mystery Shack is protected from Weird Mageddon.
Which I had fucking spoiled for me.
Thanks, Steven.
Still mad about that.
Technically, I had spoiled for me that there were 2 stands, so...
Did you had that plot point spoiled for you, really?
I did, well, because I came into the show late. I started watching after Weird Mageddon episode 2 came out, so I kind of knew a few things going in.
That kind of sucks.
That does. There's still well amounts of tension, even if you have this entire spoiled for you. But we get this big fight, and then we realize we can't kill Bill.
Yeah, it's like, while he's out in this world, it's like you can't really kill him. So, he's kind of this all-powerful being.
And they try, they really do. But then, the 2 stands are locked in a cage as Dipper and Mabel are going one-on-one with Bill. Finally, they, Stan and Ford, who are identical twins, come up with a plan. Go ahead and fucking guess what plan it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's pretty fucking obvious what they pull. Honestly.
It's a pretty cliche plan, but...
The way they pull it off...
Because all Bill wanted was what's in Ford's head.
Yeah, because
he wants all his memories so that way he can take over the world.
Yeah, because he had all the secrets and how to actually... Because I think the logic was they were trapped in a bubble in Gravity Falls specifically. And he found a way to pop that bubble and release everything onto the world.
Yes.
And so that's why he wanted to be in Stanford's head. So.
and Ford gives it up so that way the kids don't get hurt, and Bill goes in his head.
Yeah. So yeah, because there's like a handshake. He's like, okay, I'll shake your hand and go in your head or whatever. So.
And then it turns out to be Stan. ...
Big surprise.
So they use the memory eraser gun that we talked about. The turning a blind eye. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Society of the Blind Eye.
Society of the Blind Eye. You're good.
But they use that on Stan to completely wipe his memory, thus destroying Bill.
Yeah, and because they're wiping his memory, like he's trapped inside his head, and it'll erase Bill in one of the most emotional scenes in the whole movie. Again, it was so fucking satisfying.
Oh, it felt so good.
It did, because it's like he's erasing.
Have you watched 1408 yet?
I have not. No, I need to.
Okay, I'm not gonna. It has an equally satisfying ending.
Oh, does it? Nice.
Which they do try to ruin it with an alternate ending, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, when we actually get around to watching 1408, because you said that was a really good movie.
That's one of Stephen King adaptation. That's really fucking good.
Yeah, because I saw that on Nostalgia Critic's like top 11 best Stephen King ones, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot there was a Stephen King novel.
It's a short story.
Story, but still, they made it into a movie and it ended up being really fucking good. But yeah, in one of the most satisfying villain deaths again I've seen, like Bill's freaking out because he has him cornered. He's like, "Please, I'll do anything." And he was like, "Yeah, you made one mistake. You messed with my family," and then just Bill's freaking out and just punches Bill in the face out of existence.
Oh, that felt so good.
Oh, it did. It felt so fucking great. Oh.
But there was a downside to it, as Stan doesn't remember a single thing about the summer or even who his family is.
They actually end up doing it. Like he punches him out of oblivion. Everything returns to normal. You see all the fucked up shit return back, and they're like, "Hey, we did it." And Stan's just kind of sitting there, like on his knees, like comatose. At this point, I was like, Justin, are they gonna are this gonna just be a super fucking dark ending?
Luckily, no.
No, I was gonna say this is what?
This is barely worth even a plot point because they solve it in like 2 minutes.
They do it like 5 minutes later because they end up like showing him like photos from the diary, the journal that Mabel kept, and he ends up remembering it. And by the end of within the next 5 minutes, he's fine. But for a second there, I almost had a fucking heart attack. I was like, this is gonna pull some Angel Beats bullshit on me, is it?
Luckily, no.
No, it
And
doesn't.
then, after all that, Mabel and Dipper both go home after saying their goodbyes. With no, and Stan and Ford decide to actually be good brothers to each other and travel the world solving more mysteries. And that's how this fucking long-ass show ends.
It's not really even long. It's 2 seasons.
Fucking long-ass episode that took way too long to come out, and we apologize.
But it was worth it.
It wasn't.
It was so worth it. Yes, it was. Shut up.
Okay. So, is there anything we want to talk about with the last story stuff still?
I'm trying to think, because it was just really good, and for a kid show, just really mature and went to some dark places I did not expect a kid show to go to.
Yeah, again, buying the DVD or Blu-ray, I think is a really great thing, because if you want a show that's going to tell kids some actually kind of hard messages, and again, we're getting to it, has great animation, is still lighthearted, might scare them a bit, testing their limits.
Because I know on a review on a website, I heard that like someone did like a spoiler alert. It's like for younger viewers, it gets kind of intense towards the end.
It does. But if you want a show you can even watch with your kids, this is fantastic.
And there was a review on Amazon from a mother who said that she really enjoyed watching it with her daughter or son or whatnot. So.
Oh wow, an Amazon review that isn't by an asshole.
I know, right? But yeah.
Every time you said review, I was like, oh, here.
No, they were wholesome. So.
Okay.
But yeah, and the thing is, it's like it's good for kids, but at the same time, adults can get a lot out of it too, because it's surprisingly mature for a kid show on Disney. Yeah. But yeah, the story was really good, really intense. They were dicks to make us wait that long, but God, it was so good.
Well, if you want good animation, it takes a while. This ain't Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, these people actually give a shit and they're trying to be creative in Gravity Falls.
They treat kids like these things called people.
Yes, that's the thing that I do hate a lot about a lot of kid shows too. Is they treat kids like they're idiots. It's like no, kids hate that. They like to be treated, like they're actually smart. And so the show doesn't shy away from a lot of like hard messages and themes that you wouldn't usually see in a kid show.
Just because you can show kids anything doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. I mean, look at us. We're fucked up. No, but...
But anyway.
Yeah, that was the main story and how that was resolved. So that was absolutely fucking fantastic. So now it's time for the one-offs.
Let's go back to the first episode of the zombies.
Oh, yeah. This episode is great. Because in this episode, you can clearly tell that the budget went off, and they were just showing it off.
Was this the one? No, the clones were last episode.
Yeah, no, this was the one where they had to do, like, the karaoke to get away the zombies.
Yeah, because they were celebrating their victory of the last time.
For their victory over Gideon or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this...
the animation is just like, hey, budget.
Yeah. There's like a lot of like really cool lighting and shit that they do. I remember the shot of like zombies dragging the guys into the shadows and just like it's just like, hey, here we go. We have a higher budget. Let's fucking use the shit out of it.
I just remembered Susuke infected. Hey guys, can I just like eat your brains?
Oh yeah. Hey guys, can I like eat your brains or something?
Just a little nibble.
I love that so much. So is that all we're gonna say about it?
Well, that's all I got really to say on the first episode. It's just it comes in and it's like, hey, we're gonna be a bit different this time. Things are gonna be a bit darker, but also we got better animation.
Yeah, we got cool animation. Boom. But yeah, that was a good one. We should
probably talk about a lot of people's favorite episode that isn't story based.
Was that the game one?
Seuss and the Real Girl.
Yes.
With Giffany.
Giffany, get it? Giffany.
No.
But anyway.
In this episode, Seuss wants to date people, but he sucks because he's antisocial, so he plays a dating game. That turns out to be a living AI and is psychotic.
Yeah. Like, they're making fun of, like, dating games and, like, people who play visual novels a lot or whatever. And not
I know some would say, like, it teaches the message of how gaming too much could hurt you.
Yeah, but...
And you go back to the real world before it tries to kill you.
Yeah, like, gaming is a great thing, and there's nothing wrong with, like, enjoying gaming, but at the same time, that can't be all you do.
Unless it's your job, then
Yeah,
you kind of have to, I guess.
Fine. But I mean, you know what we're saying.
Yeah, game responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. Game responsibly.
Yeah, this episode gets pretty fucking dark too.
Yeah, Giffany gets kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
The way she teleports around, becomes Five Nights at Freddy's for a bit.
Yeah, they do make fun of Five Nights at Freddy's in this episode.
I'm not sure if it's making fun or just paying homage.
Yeah, this is film. It could be either or. But
True. It is also kind of nice to see Seuss be, instead of just being a punchline, actually grow a bit.
yeah, grow a bit as a character and a human, so. Because I mean, there was some of that before where like they went into they were the one where they fought the dinosaurs, where like Dipper said how much he like man, Seuss always messes everything up, and then he actually proves himself and shit. But
which episode was that?
that was, I forget, that was in the first season though, where like they had the fight with the dinosaur, where the dinosaur takes,
Land Before Swine.
yeah, where it takes Swaddles and they have to rescue Waddles.
Yeah. Completely forgot about that episode.
Damn, because that has the awesome scene where Stan just jumps on a pterodactyl and punches it in the fucking face.
That is pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
There's also a little gift shop of horrors, the anthology episode.
That was a fun one. I love that was the one where they fell in the hole, right? No.
No, and this was the one where you're being toured around with Stan and he's telling stories about each object.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot the show technically has 2 anthology episodes. Huh.
Mm-hmm. One for the first season, one for this one.
Interesting.
And that one has a really dark ending where you apparently become an attraction at the gift shop.
Were you apparently what?
Become an attraction at the gift shop?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Shit.
That was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, uplifting. But
yeah, this is why we didn't talk about every single episode, because there's just kind of little things to talk. They're all great.
yeah, except for the last one, but
Which one?
the last standalone. That was the one with Dipper being a dick.
The Love God?
Yeah.
No, we're thinking Roadside Attraction.
That was the episode 19 or episode 17, wasn't it? No, wait, was it?
16.
16. Yeah, it was the one before that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was confusing them too.
It's fine.
There was Blendin's game, which that's the one where they're trying to fix Seuss's birthday.
Was that the one with like that made fun of D&D?
No.
No, I'm thinking a different one.
You're thinking of Dungeons, and More Dungeons.
That's it. Still love that title.
That wasn't a one-off, that's one I kind of chunked together.
Okay.
But Blaine's game's the one where they're fixing Seuss's birthday and has the positive message technically
Yeah.
that you need to forget toxic people in your life, even if it's someone like
His
a
father.
dad who ran away.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that got just really sad at points. Because, like, they went back in time and saw, like, a little Seuss. Because this is the one where I think the Time Guy's first introduced, isn't it?
No, this is when he gets his revenge and they do the time games.
Yes, the Time Games. That's
with the interdimensional space baby.
That was fun. Now feed me. But, yeah, again, it just gets touching. Because, again, like we said, that's a bold message for a Disney show.
Yeah, and a lot of shows actually do this nowadays. Adventure Time has a few episodes, pretty deep messages. Steven Universe does.
Yep.
But in Steven Universe, you can tell when the tone is shift. when it's like, this is a serious episode. This is talking about a serious subject.
Like, you can see, like, their facial reactions and shit change.
Yeah, or just the entire tone of the episode is completely shifted from what the one-offs usually are.
Huh.
And this one, you don't feel that shift. It's more of a hindsight thing when you think of the message.
Yeah, because they still managed to keep the same tone throughout the episode. There's no, like, tonal whiplash or any of that. But it's like, upon thinking about further, you're like, is that what's really the message? Really?
It's like, and that's not a bad message for kids, especially ones with, separated families.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, yeah, some people are toxic and pieces of shit, and you just need to forget about them. And just treasure
There's some points where you just need to give up on and move on.
Because I think the message was, yeah, move on from those toxic people and appreciate the people you do have in your life. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yep.
The show is too sad. I'm allergic.
Oh, God, emotion.
Oh, fuck. What's her name?
Whose?
Pacifica.
Pacifica.
That's her name.
Pacifica Ocean or something.
Because of the Northwest Mansion mystery.
Pacifica Northwest.
The bitch.
The bitch, yeah.
The bitchy one. That was also a really fun sort of Halloween episode.
Yeah.
With also the really fucked up Belle.
Yeah, because, like, that was when where, like, ghosts were coming over the mansion, and the two things I remember being fucked up, specifically, are, like, the guy who dies from the axe to the fucking head.
Yeah, they don't specifically show it.
But no, they show, like, the axe flying through the air, and they show him there, and, like, off-screen it, like, flies into it, and you just hear shink or something. And
yeah.
The scene with, like, all the animals hanging on the wall, and just blood pouring out of their fucking mouths.
A Disney show!
Right? A family!
And Pacifica is... Because all the family has to do... What is happening is the Northwest are throwing a party, and none of the lower class are allowed.
Yeah, they aren't allowed to invite the poor people.
But the ghosts are the poor people who were originally not let into the party and all died in a landslide. A family show. But so Pacifica goes to just open the gates so that way the ghosts will stop turning everyone into horrific wooden people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fucked up too. Sure gets fucked up.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is. And all of a sudden, her father starts ringing this bell. It just gets so uncomfortable.
Oh, with the bell, I forgot about.
Yeah, because it's never specifically said what happens if she doesn't listen to it.
But there's clearly some kind of abuse going on there.
Yeah, there's some Pavlov dog shit going on here.
Yeah, because, like, every time he rings the bell, she kind of just freezes up, and you can see, like, the terror in her eyes.
Yeah, and before she calms down, and it's just like...
I completely forgot about that. That's fucked up.
Yeah, you actually learn to kind of like Pacifica a bit more in this one.
Yeah. You find out
And
it
then
was
she
more her
disappears for a while.
it was more her circumstances that made her into it more than she's just a bitch to be a bitch. Yeah. What the fuck, Nathan Fillion?
Oh yeah, Nathan Fillion's her dad!
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that. But yeah, also that episode also has some wonderful like gothic imagery with the mansion.
Gothic imagery and horror. My God.
So cool.
It is cool. But yeah, again, it's just like half this shit. You're like, how the fuck did they get away with this?
And then I think before some more final thoughts, because I don't really have anything to say on the Love God unless you do.
That was the one with like John DiMaggio.
Yeah, where Mabel gets Cupid's arrows and starts making every date, but it makes everything.
Yeah, and that one had some good humor, but yeah, again, Love God was John DiMaggio, and he like wasn't that the ending at like the festival or something?
Yeah.
I just remember the Robbie's parents, the two practitioners or whatever they do, the dead bodies. It just had some good dark humor from them.
Oh yeah, where they're constantly cheerful even though they are morticians who live in a cemetery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they appear in this one. They like crack jokes about like the festival going crazy, and I'm just like, God damn it, you two. Because didn't you say that was an actual thing that like practitioners actually have like kind of a dark sense of humor?
Yeah, because you have to look at different
Yeah, so I guess some of them just subconsciously cope with it. You're breaking up super hard. What? I can't hardly hear you. Hold on. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys.
Actual technical difficulties for once.
Wow, not us just fucking up. I mean, but no, I said like I was saying something like because they have to stare at dead bodies all day, so I guess some of them just to subconsciously cope with it, they just crack wise.
Yeah.
Which is really dark when you think about it, but it makes sense.
You gotta deal with it somehow.
Yeah.
We should also probably talk about the worst episode if we have nothing to say on the Love God.
Yeah, that's about it. It was just a solid episode, honestly. That's the thing.
Yeah, everything is a solid episode except Roadside Attraction.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, even some of like the episodes that were kind of like more minor in comparison, besides Roadside Attraction, are still really enjoyable and solid episodes.
Yeah, there's fantastic humor.
Yeah.
The characters always can work in almost any situation, and it's just great.
Yeah, it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop, where we say it's like a bad episode, it's like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10 or something.
Except Roadside Attraction, which is probably like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, this one, let's tackle it.
So, I forget the reason why, but the family goes out to relax on a road trip as Ford gets some things done at home, I think it is.
No, because I think he comes along with them, right?
No, I think it's just Stan, Mabel, and Dipper.
Oh, Seuss is left back, you mean?
No, Ford. Ford is fixing up the house.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah, I
defend
forgot
it.
he was introduced in this. Yeah, Ford has some stuff to do, so they go on a road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dipper's having problems getting over Wendy.
Yeah, because the episode we said the one with the shapeshifter played by Mark Hamill, that was when he kind of accepted, he actually broke it to Wendy, right? I think.
Yeah, and Wendy broke it to him.
Yeah,
saying,
where
this
he was just like, "Did you hear that?" Try. Yeah, so that was when they got over it. But you find out that he's still not really over her.
Which is actually true. Men take longer to get over than women.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but yeah, I'm sure that happens.
That's not true. That's the
majority.
Statistical average.
Yeah, like 70-some% of men take longer or something like that.
Yeah, the psychological statistics. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. But yeah,
Dipper's,
yeah, so he's still trying to get over it, but at the same time, whenever he goes on the road trip, he tries to find a girl to fall back on.
No, Stan tells him to practice, because of course he listens to Stan for advice.
Exactly.
But, so he starts trying to date all these girls at once, and then it comes back at the end, near the end, where all the girls find out and get mad at him.
It's kind of that awkward humor, which I know we never really cared for.
I hate cringe humor so much.
Yeah, honestly,
even though Eric Andre apparently counts as cringe humor,
really?
But that's actually funny.
Let's say but that's another topic. But yeah, it's just I know I can tolerate it to a little bit more of a degree, but I'm kind of with you where cringe humor really is just kind of it's just no.
Look, they're socially awkward.
Ha ha ha.
Great.
I get it. That's why you said rewatching Dexter, that was kind of painful in that, or wasn't it?
Oh my god. And also because I knew everything I hate about that show, and it's just it was so hard to ignore.
It's he's awkward. Get it?
He's socially awkward because he's a serial killer.
It's okay.
Cool.
But yeah, this obviously all the girls come back and it's supposed to be ha ha ha. It's awkward and cringy, it's just painful, but everything else is fine.
Yeah, there's still it's a scene the road attraction. Some of them are creative. Yeah. The villain of the episode is some spider woman who's super fucked up.
I do like how they keep stealing stuff from the roadside or whatever.
Yeah. So Stan could sell it later.
Because obviously he's a scumbag and a. So that was funny, but yeah, at the same time, anything basically that didn't have Dipper in it, I found fine.
In that episode, even though it was cringy at times, the Dipper and Wendy stuff wasn't as present as I remembered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remembered it being worse than it actually was throughout the show.
Yeah, because I remember it came up during a couple episodes in season 1, which, like, but it went away pretty fast, thankfully.
Yeah, and also it still got some good jokes out of it.
Yeah. I forget, there was one I think we found really funny.
The clone episode was really funny.
Yeah. There was a line, I forget what it was, that was like, oh, no, I'm thinking of Angel Beats, sorry.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
But besides that, I don't think there's anything else I really want to cover, or that I feel needs covering.
Yeah,
by itself.
It's unfortunate that like the last standalone, well, I guess second to last technically, but the second to last ties into the finale somehow.
The Dipper and Mabel one is directly connected.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but it's unfortunate that like the last one off had to be such a weak episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. So.
At least the wait wasn't too long to the story episode.
Yeah.
It was only September 21st to October 12th.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, those were all the one-offs. So yeah, that was the show.
Well, that's not all the one-offs. That's all the ones I can really think to talk about.
Yeah. That was basically our thoughts on the story and the one-offs and like how well it's done. So, and we already talked about the animation. So, anything else you want to talk about?
Animation's fantastic. Just the show is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's well worth it. It's one of the best shows to come out of Disney ever, almost. I would say like one of their best ones they've produced.
Their best one in at least the past 10 years,
Yeah,
I'd say.
Exactly.
Unless you want to debate Star versus Force of Evil, which some people probably would.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Gravity Falls is just overall just a fantastic and just solid show. So good.
Which makes me feel bad that it seems to have been forgotten with all the Cartoon Network shows that have come out.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, there's still obviously fans and people still make references, but, like, no one really talks about it as much as they did back then. And I do like that they did end the show on its own merits, because they felt they had, like, creatively, like, we told the story we can tell, now let's end it. Like, I'm glad they didn't just draw it out to unnecessary lengths.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have milked, like, a few more one-off episodes out.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, they ended it, and it's honestly a super satisfying ending, if not a bit sad.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is a show that just, yeah, it's not afraid to get fucking dark.
It's not afraid to be mean, and it's not afraid to get dark.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one thing I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Because there's a video that was popular on YouTube for a while.
Oh, the one with how Mabel caused Weird again.
Yeah, Mabel is terrible.
I'll just let you go on that rant.
Okay. So, I watched this video because believe it or not, as someone on the internet, I'm open for criticism.
What? You mean
I'm open to hear someone's agree or disagree on why something is good or bad.
In 2018, we can agree to disagree? What?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking crazy. But the person who made this didn't seem to understand one thing. Mabel is 12.
Yeah, she's a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, she's a brat, and she's such a dick to Dipper. Yeah, they're brother and sister, and they're 12.
Have you never seen siblings in real life? I'm assuming you didn't have a brother or sister, if that's the conclusion you drew.
Have you never seen kids?
Yeah, exactly. They're mean to each other.
Oh, but Stan is also cruel with her. Yeah, because Stan's a dick.
I say, he's clearly portrayed as a piece of shit in the show.
And the one point that pissed me off the most, like, okay, fine, you find her annoying because she does the things a 12-year-old girl does. Weird McGann is her fault, is what he said.
Well, I think one other thing, wasn't it, before he said the Weird McGann, wasn't one other thing like, oh, she never apologizes. Yes, she does.
She never apologizes for Weird McGann. First off, she was tricked in a state of emotional distress. 2, she had no idea the outside world was being fucked up because of her bubble.
Yeah.
3, everyone understood she was tricked, so she didn't have to apologize.
I think she even still didn't she?
Yeah, she does apologize at the end anyway.
Yeah, so your argument's invalid. Sorry.
Oh, she's so annoying. If you find her humor annoying, I get that. That's humor preference.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me he's a terrible person, she's 12.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, you're treating her like she's 20-something and is supposed to understand 100% all her actions have consequences. When you're 12, you're still a little bastard.
Yeah, honestly.
You're basically a little bastard till you're 18. Then you're a taller bastard.
I like that.
That video just bugged me in so many ways because it's like you ignored everything else about the show just so that way you could say something to annoy fans.
Yeah, it did. From what you described, because I didn't watch it because I knew I'd get pissed off, but from what you're describing, it just seems like he made that just to have people comment on it and get views.
Yeah, it's like, why not talk about how good the show is instead of how something... And if you want to say something bad about the show, like, oh, this part of the plot doesn't make sense, fine, make a video on it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But if you're going to bring up fake straw man arguments, you're just ruining it.
Yeah, exactly. Your argument is just no.
You're just being a dick. Oh, Beauty and the Beast never explains why all the plates dance.
Yeah.
It's an enchanted castle in a
Exactly.
kid's movie. Move on.
I love that. Like, Lindsay, and she said, like, the creator said that too. It's an enchanted castle. It doesn't have to make sense.
We're
It's
talking about
magic.
Lindsay Ellis, by the way.
Yeah.
If you want to check out her video essays, they're actually really good.
Yeah, little plug for Lindsay Ellis, because she became famous as the nostalgia chick, but then she kind of moved on and started doing her own stuff, and it's really fucking good.
She was a nostalgia chick for some reason, probably part of some site. We don't know. Moving on.
Yes. But yeah, she makes some good essays. But yeah, it's just like it's magic. It doesn't have to be every little thing about the thing doesn't have to be explained. It's magic.
Magic, move on.
Yeah.
Fucking nitpicking CinemaSins motherfucker. Anyway,
That's
a story for
say,
another day.
But that's a story for another day.
So any final thoughts on Gravity Falls?
I think we've said our piece, honestly. Just the show's really fucking good and solid, and I highly recommend watching it and buying a Blu-ray to support the show, honestly.
Or buy it digitally if you're a terrible person. Anyway,
Yeah.
we actually get to spin the fucking wheel.
Woo! Woo!
after I pull up the...
It's been how long since we've spun the wheel now? Like March or some shit? So we
Whenever
started
we
it?
start Gravity Falls,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know, honestly.
Screen recording. Oh shit, I'm saying what I have to do.
Okay, it's fine. I just cut this part out.
And spin the wheel.
Whoa!
I said spin the wheel.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Okay, so you're kind of not gonna believe me.
Am I not? Really?
You're not.
Okay.
Dean of the East.
Woo!
Fuck, I hate you so much.
I love you too, buddy. I love you. Trust me, it was worth it. It's good.
The joke behind this, by the way, is Cameron gave me the entire series and both movies,
Yeah, because
and then we put it on the wheel so I couldn't watch it.
I'm sorry about that. I really am.
Prick.
But no, yeah, because I had the original series in like a complete Blu-ray set, but then I bought like the premium box, and which had the whole series and the movies. And I had this series, and I was like, oh, I'll give it to Justin. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I have money left over, and these are on sale for $20. Why don't I get them both movies too, so I can see the end of the show?
I forget how to stop the recording.
It's okay. I'll just end it here. It's fine.
I stopped the video. I know you can stop it at any time, but I was just saying I forgot.
It's fine. It's fine. So thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Cinema Roulette. Don't forget to tune in next time for whatever the fuck it may be. Whatever the next movie one is.
It was... Well, I think next is Suspiria, because you didn't release it with Babadook.
I was going to release that before this, actually.
Okay, then we have Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, stay tuned for Princess Mononoke, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.